ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, April 1st. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Coming up here in the next few minutes, we're going to talk to Ryan Crisp. It's Wednesday, so usually Ryan Crisp joins us on the program, and Ryan is going to get us caught up on everything. We've got the spring game coming up here in about a week. April 11th, so 10 days to be exact. So the spring game is coming up. There's going to be a lot you need to know about the game, tickets, everything that you possibly could want to know. Ryan's going to tell us about it. Of course, Ryan now the Associate Director of Athletics Revenue Generation. So there's a lot of things happening there. So Ryan joins us in the next few minutes. But until then, we'll get your text. And again, that's 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. Of course, tonight's a big night. It's the WNIT Fab 4 semifinal, 8 o'clock. It's going to be Marshall versus Arkansas State. The Herd got the win over the Red Wolves earlier this season with a 62-54 victory. So the Thundering Herd looking to repeat that and move on to the championship game. There's been a lot of conversation about where the championship game is going to be. I'm hoping that after tonight and Marshall wins, we're going to find out that the Herd has put together a tremendous bid and Marshall will get to host that championship game. That would be disappointing for me if the other side, the bid was better, or that the WNIT went with the bid that is not Marshall. So that would truly be disappointing for me. But with that said, you got to win first before you can even talk about that, and that's what the Herd's going to have to do tonight. 8 o'clock, Marshall versus Arkansas State. And after that, possibility of a championship game being played, hopefully, here in Huntington. Baseball action earlier today. You heard it right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. It was the Pittsburgh Pirates getting the win over the Cincinnati Reds, 8-3. Pirates are now 3-3. Cincinnati also 3-3 in the young season. We're not even a week in, so the Pirates and the Reds, always fun. Pirates get the better of the Reds today. Of course, baseball action. Lakers got the win last night over the Cavaliers, 127-113. It was Carolina beating Columbus in the NHL last night, 5-2. And of course, last night, if you were watching, say, some of the Cavalier highlights and you were looking at Sports Center afterwards, or you were watching some of the baseball action and you flipped over to Sports Center, did you see the goaltender fight with Igor Shesterkin for the New York Rangers? Did you watch any of that? I need to tell you right now, go find that on X or YouTube. Watch that. Then you're going to become a hockey fan. So there was a lot happening last night. But, of course, you know, the big one for us tonight is going to be the WNIT. And do I want to mention the Marshall game yesterday? I don't like mentioning Ohio beating the Herd. I just don't. It's not who I am. It's not what I am. I'm not happy with that. But the Thundering Herd yesterday at Jack Cook Field had to take one and lost to the Ohio Bobcats. It was a 5-3 victory for the Bobcats. So next up for the Thundering Herd tomorrow, going to be in Boone, North Carolina, taking on App State for a 3-game set. And then the Herd, a few days later, will be in Morgantown for a rematch with the Mountaineers before getting back to Huntington on April 10th and taking on Old Dominion. Of course, it's going to be a busy weekend. Old Dominion, the 10th, 11th, and 12th at Jack Cook Field with the Thundering Herd. The Old Dominion game on Saturday is going to be a 5 o'clock game. So we're going to figure out how you're going to get to see the spring game, how you're going to get to see the baseball game. All of that coming up. Ryan Crisp is going to take us through that process when we talk to him. And, of course, we're going to also talk to you. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. 8255. That is the number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get Ryan on a little early so we can find out what's happening with the Herd and what you need to know about the spring game. And we'll get your text as well, 304-396-TALK. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ladies, prioritizing your health starts with Marshall OBGYN. From screening exams to disease prevention to management of reproductive problems, our team offers a complete range of services for women of all ages. Thinking about growing your family? Marshall OBGYN's physicians are experienced in providing you the support you need for normal or high-risk pregnancies in a friendly, family-oriented environment. Learn more at marshallhealth.org/OBGYN.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate, like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
Kinetic Fiber Internet wants to know, is slow cable internet leaving you lagging? Well, the next big leap in internet is here, and there, and over that way too. Because Kinetic is bringing ultra-fast 100% fiber with Wi-Fi 7 to everyone. And with the Kinetic Promise, we'll make sure every room and every device is connected and working before we leave. Get with the future. Go with 100% fiber. Switch to the new Kinetic Fiber Max plan and get $300 plus a 3-year price guarantee. Visit GoKinetic.com. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms and conditions apply.
High school welders. Don't miss the second annual Elite Welding Competition. A full day of hands-on challenges and real-world skill testing. Showcase your craftsmanship under the guidance of industry instructors. Compete for scholarships and giveaways and take your welding skills to the next level. The top 3 competitors will earn scholarships toward Elite Welding Academy programs. Saturday, April 11th in Cincinnati. Transportation via a charter bus is available. Get all the details and register now at EliteWeldingAcademy.com. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
We continue with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We need to come up with a catchy name for Wednesdays because usually on a Wednesday we welcome to the program the busiest man on campus at Marshall University. He is Ryan Chris, the Associate Director of Athletics, Revenue Generation. It's his job, generate all the revenue. He is with us now on the program. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. How are you, Paul?
I'm well. I'm very good. I do need to clean something up with you before we continue. Gerald Harrison spoke with me on Monday, and he said that he hears nothing but good things about me except when he talks to you. What's that about, Ryan?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not sure where that came from. Everything I tell everyone is all good about you. I promise.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know if that's true or not. No, I know it's true. Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, and then except when I talked to Ryan Chris, I'm sitting there going, is he in on the joke now? I mean, did you did you? Because now some of your employees or your associates are even taking shots at you, and I'm not even prompting them anymore.
They're ready for it. They're not afraid to take a shot at me. I appreciate it. I like it.
It's always fun to have you or someone with the program join us. And you've got a busy couple weeks coming up, and the biggest item on the docket has got to be the spring game. That's going to be April 11th. We're going to hope for a beautiful day, Chamber of Commerce weather, as the cliche goes, and we've got baseball that day as well. So let's start with the spring game. What's new? What's different? What stays the same from years past?
Yeah, I think, looking at the weather forecast on the Apple Weather app, at least you can see Fridays as of right now. And let me tell you, if Friday translates to Saturday, we're going to be in good shape. So hoping for good weather. I'm sure it will be. It never rains on the herd, so I'm sure we'll get some good weather. In terms of what to expect, ticket-wise, $5 to get in the door. Can't beat it, right? $20 to park and tailgate in the West lot. Spring game kicks off at 3 p.m. Gates open at 2 p.m. and the parking lots open at 9 a.m. So if you want to come tailgate all day, $20, get you a West lot pass, and you can tailgate all day, which is tremendous. So that's going to be very, very similar to what you've seen in years past. The actual game itself will be structured much like last year. They're going to do a half of real football. So the first half will be played just like a real football game. They're going to do their normal warm-ups and all that kind of stuff if you'd like to come early and check it out. And then they're going to go into halftime, quote-unquote, for a little bit. During that time, we'll have the alumni on the field that are coming into town, probably around 150 or so is what they're expecting. So about 150 alumni back in town. They'll have the microphone on the field to introduce themselves, and they'll be able to be recognized for coming back. And hopefully some fan favorites will be out there where people will be excited to see them. And then, for the second half, just like last year, we'll have some posters, and everyone's welcome to come onto the field for a little fan day autograph session, pictures on the field. Coach Gibson will be out there. All of their full-time coaches, all the players, and all the alumni will all be on the field still. So a great opportunity to come meet and greet. I can tell you one thing I'm excited for, really two things. The first thing is there's a lot of familiar faces back, right? Last year we dealt with a lot of turnover, and there was a lot of newness. Well, this year you have a lot of your familiar faces in terms of players back. So some guys that maybe you haven't seen since we last played that you're excited to see and check out, they'll be out there. And so whether it's Carlos or whether it's Adrian Norton or whether it's Jalen Slappy or Deontay Smith or Toby Payne, whoever it is, right? There's a lot of guys that are back that are impact players for us. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for our fans to be able to see them. And then the other thing is we do have the Dutch Miller deck open for that game. So obviously a new addition to last football season wasn't there. The construction didn't even start at this time last year, which is crazy to think about. But the Dutch Miller deck will be open. It's a $50 ticket to get into the deck, and that includes all you can eat, as well as beer and soft drinks are included in that price as well. So a new addition and a chance for a fan to check out that area. Maybe they're on the fence about buying a season pass in that area, so they'll get a little glimpse of what it's like and the experience and the view and all that kind of stuff. The other advantage of buying a ticket into the deck is that's where the alumni will also be during the game. So if you want to hang out with the alumni during the game or meet and greet some of those guys from the past, if you buy a deck ticket, you'll be right there with them, which is awesome and a super cool experience. So lots of options, and really, obviously we had a spring game every year, but I'm excited about this year where the weather's going to be perfect, and fans will get a chance to really enjoy themselves and get out and have that Marshall memory with the Marshall family, and really just experience another game day in the Jones.
How close are you to getting to your allotment of tickets for the deck? I mean, if someone says, "Hey, I want to do it," they better get it now. They got a day or two to think about it. Always get it now if you're thinking about it. But you're pretty close to that, I would think.
Yeah, no, we've had really, really good sales in the deck, especially as a new experience. So yeah, the sooner the better. And yes, if you're wanting that and you're thinking, well, I'll just wait closer to game day, I would not do that. At some point, just from a food count, we do have to cut off the sales or give a projected number. And so always best to do it ahead of time, because at some point before the game, we will need to stop sales for that. And so definitely, it's just easier for you as well, right? You go onto herdzone.com, you're able to get whatever you need in terms of tickets for baseball, spring game, football season tickets, whatever it is. You're able to do that in one transaction and then have all that on your phone. So that way, when you get to the game, it's a much easier and controlled process for you.
Ryan Crisp is with us, Associate Athletic Director of Revenue Generation, Marshall University. And, of course, the spring game is coming up on the 11th. Anything special for baseball? We're going to have baseball, obviously, after the spring game. So anything going on there, especially for that Saturday?
Yeah, we got a national anthem singer coming in, and we got a special little first pitch. We'll hold that for a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be a good night. It's usually one of the most attended baseball games, right? Just because the spring game is right before and everyone coming over. The football alumni will also be making their way over there. Coach Gibson will be making his way over there after the spring game's done and after he gets done with fan day on the field. So, really just one of the best atmospheres for a baseball game that we'll have all year. And so we're excited to have everyone come over to the Jack and take part in that game.
So Taylor Swift is performing at Jack Cook Field. Okay, confirmed.
That's right. Yeah, Taylor will be here. Yeah.
Taylor will be there. I love it. So that's pretty special. We'll hang on for the announcement coming soon. But still, if you want to make a day of it, get your football ticket now and get your baseball ticket sooner than later, because I anticipate that will sell out, especially with a lot of people in town that maybe haven't been to Jack Cook Field yet. Obviously, it's going to be a good series with Old Dominion, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really a fun weekend ahead for Marshall, but you're not done, Ryan, because there are options for the Thundering Herd coming up in 2026. There are some things that you're interested in. Let's talk about first what's going to be new at Joan C. Edwards Stadium. Always looking for a way to improve that fan experience, find a way to make something for everybody happen. And what do you got? There's always a new food option, a new something. So what can you tell us about what's happening for Joan C. Edwards Stadium in 2026?
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the works, right? And I think there's a few things that we're most excited about. A lot of the focal point this early in planning for next football season is from a concession vendor standpoint. And so the big thing that we've already launched with our season ticket renewals is family price concessions on the east side at stand 12. So that's on the far northeast concession stand there. And so it's cheaper options, hot dogs, popcorns, drinks, things like that at family prices. It's 50% off compared to what you would buy normally at a different concession stand for the same product. And so we're excited to have the family price concession stand. We naturally did it by where we sell our family pack season tickets, trying to tie it all together. And so we're excited to have an option, a value option for fans to take advantage of. Then the other things we're working on, we're working on some new menu options, be on the lookout for chicken tenders and French fries being available for purchase, Philly cheesesteaks, some subs. Chick-fil-A is going to be on both sides of the stadium this year with a new partnership with them. Grab and goes, you're going to see an enhanced experience in the grab and goes area. And then maybe the biggest upgrade, but probably the quietest upgrade, is new point of sale system. So quicker, faster service, easier for not only the concession worker to be able to check you out quicker, but a quicker payment process for you to tap and go and get through our lines a little bit quicker. So lots of concession upgrades coming. That's been the focal point early on here. And so new menu options, new pricing, And still working on a couple other things that I think our fans are really going to like, that hopefully we can get across the finish line over the next couple weeks, and announce those as we move along here. But definitely some great upgrades coming from the concession world for the 2026 season.
Let me ask first about that family pricing area. Is that going to be limited to the people who get the family seating? Because I can envision all of Jones C. Edwards Stadium just lined up in one concession area. So are there any restrictions? What are you asking of fans? How are you handling possible surges like that?
Yeah, no, there is not. That stand is going to be prepared, obviously, for the influx of people that we are expecting, but there's no restrictions in terms of who's able to purchase from that stand. So if you're willing to, head over to stand 12, you're going to be able to take advantage of that family price concession. They're going to have more workers. They're going to have more point-of-sale systems, and they're also going to have product ready to go. And so it should be a great experience. And, naturally, anytime that we're very, very fortunate in terms of the crowds that we're able to get, and we're very thankful for that. So anytime that we have a good-sized crowd, you're going to have to stand in line for, a few minutes in order to grab those concession items. But we are focused on making it as convenient and as fast as possible for fans to grab what they need, and get back to those seats for the game.
As far as the last couple of years, there's been I want to say resurgence as far as trying to make sure there are new options, new things to help serve as many fans as possible. What have you learned in those last couple of years that you're applying to this season and trying to make sure that it is, as you've said it before, you've taken that fan first mentality and tried to bring that to Marshall Athletics. So what have you learned and what's maybe changed that maybe Herd fans haven't seen in the background that's really helping you move forward?
Yeah, I think what we learned is that people are willing to pay for the more options, right? They're willing to pay to have the hibachi and go to that food truck, and they're willing to even purchase food in a different area than their section. So even if you're sitting on the east side, but your food truck's on the west side, you're willing to make that trek over to go purchase something that you want, right? And so we are focused on adding as many for food and drink service locations as possible, not only to help with the lines, but just to help with options within the stadium. So as you said, we've added a lot of different options, from a taco truck to a hibachi truck to Chick-fil-A to, more pizza options, more drink options, donut food truck, adding a waffle station this fall on the menu. Some subs are going to be on the menu this fall. And so there's lots of different options, and we've learned that people like the options. And, when you have more options, naturally you're going to get more sales because it's not the same 4 or 5 products that maybe someone's not interested in. So if you provide things that people want, they're going to be willing to purchase those items. And like I said, even, purchase those items away from their current section and take the extra couple minutes to go to a different stand that has what they're looking for.
Ryan Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletic Director of Revenue Generation, lots of food options, and eventually I know you're planning on putting in a Ryan Crisp Steakhouse at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, right? Is that on the whiteboard?
I don't know if I can do that, but that would be really cool if we had a steakhouse within the stadium with a view of the game. That would be great, but I'm not sure if I'd be the right chef to undertake that. Not the best on the grill,
I would absolutely pay for a Ryan Crisp Steakhouse prepared by you. I would pay the money. Let's do it.
There we go.
Absolutely. Ryan Crisp is with us, and again, one of my favorite people to interview because you are the most positive human being that I talk to on a weekly basis, and there's something else that I think that this is really cool. Just the fact that you came up with this. More and more, it's not about and facilities are still important to college football experience. They're important. Locker rooms, training areas, the playing surface, all of that. Everything's important, but it's shifting more now to making sure we have the best facilities, the best of everything possible for the fan experience. And part of that fan experience comes sometimes to things you wouldn't think about. There are sensory rooms at some stadiums now for individuals that maybe need that break from the sensory overload. And also, you're putting this out there. You're looking for feedback as far as some services, including daycare. How far are you along in that process, and what would that look like, or are you still on the drawing board?
Yeah, no, I think we got a pretty good plan in place. We've met with a partner, and we have an area that we believe would work for a daycare service that meets all the requirements from a safety standpoint. We sent out a survey to season ticket holders about a week ago to get some initial feedback on if this is a service that fans would be interested in having. It would be a paid service where you'd have to pay to have your kids at this daycare. But basically, we're always looking for a way to attract families to our game, attract a younger fan base to our game. And as a young parent myself and speaking with other young families, sometimes when the kids are a certain age, it's really, really hard to come to a football game, or it's really, really hard to make that investment that it takes to purchase tickets and purchase concessions and do all the things that you need to do, pay for parking to come to a football game, knowing you might only be there for a quarter or a half or whatever it may be before the kids got to go or before you got to, take your kids to do something. And so we are looking into a daycare. We do need fan feedback, though. We need to know that if we were able to make the daycare happen, is this something that would help? Would you be willing to pay for it? Would you be willing to stay longer at the game? What does that do for you as a fan in terms of staying longer, buying more concessions, the peace of mind of knowing you don't have to worry about, your kid. You're able to focus on what's happening on the field and cheer on the herd. And so we just need more fan feedback. So there is a survey. So if you're interested in this, please contact me. My information is on herdzone.com. And I will send you the link to the survey where you're able to fill it out and kind of provide your feedback and your information of what you feel that's valued at. And so we're in the planning stages for sure, but if we are able to get enough feedback where we feel confident that this would be a good service to provide, then I think we're ready to go. And so from the research I've done, I think we'd be the first ever to do this from a college football standpoint. And so we're excited about that, and we believe that this is something that will help the overall fan experience, not only from young families, young parents coming to a game, but also, like I said, just the peace of mind of you as a true football fan being able to focus on what's going on the field and really, really cheer on your herd.
What would the age limit be? I'm sure at some point you can't accept older kids of a certain age. Are you at that point yet, making that final determination?
Yeah, on the survey itself right now, we've asked for 0 to 2, 2 to 5, and then 5 to 12 are kind of how the age groups. So as of right now, 12 would be the max age limit that we're able to accept. And so once again, we just got to get that survey result back, see what age groups it's falling into, and then make the best determination of, can we accept all three? Maybe we only accept the younger kids. Maybe we only accept the older kids, trying to figure out what makes sense, and then, get to the finish line from there.
Ryan Crisp is with us, the Associate Director of Athletics, Revenue Generation, Marshall University. Very busy week coming up with the spring game. Of course, there'll be baseball associated with that as well. And I don't want to put you on the spot, so you can just hang up, and I'll hear from you next week if you feel like that. But if Marshall should win tonight, well, let me back that up. When Marshall wins tonight in the Fab Four and should win the bid to host the championship game, will there be anything different, or will it be business as usual as far as getting your ticket for that game?
Yeah, no, it'll be business as usual. We'll move as fast as possible. And so season ticket holder process will be the same as the first couple of home games here. They'll get an email where they can reserve those specifically for them with their seat blocks. And then, we'll go on sale to the general public as soon as possible. If I can stay up that late and be ready for it, we'll go on sale tonight and make sure it's ready to go. So we're excited for the opportunity, and I'm confident that Julie has the team ready to go. We'll get the win tonight, and then we'll see what the WNIT has to say, and hopefully we'll be in the cam on Saturday.
Looking forward to it. Ryan Crisp, our guest, the Associate Director of Athletics Revenue Generation at Marshall University. Let's hope that we're all back at the cam on Saturday for Julie Folks and her squad. We'll talk to you hopefully next week, Ryan.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it. Well, go Herd.
Thank you. Ryan Crisp, again, Associate Director of Athletics Revenue Generation at Marshall University. Your text, 304-396-TALK, coming up, 304-396-8255 on this edition of The Drive. Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
We're back with Chris from Christopher's Eats. Chris, you all do more than just great food and drinks in the restaurant, right?
Oh, sure do. We offer full-service catering for private events, on-site or off-site, for just about any occasion you can think of.
So we're talking weddings, corporate events, holiday parties, birthdays, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's what really sets us apart. We can bring a full bar setup to your off-site event.
Wow, that makes it easy. One call and you're covered. For private events and catering, it's Christopher's Eats, Route 60 Huntington.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code July25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code July25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code July25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Save big money in all of your household essentials when you shop at Menards. Soften your water with Diamond Crystal Water Softener Salt. It helps your soap and detergent clean better, minimizes hard water stains, and increases the life of your appliances. Save big money in all solar natural softener salt at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
At Woodlands Retirement Community, life is full of possibilities. Enjoy your independence surrounded by friends, great food, and endless activities, all within a beautiful, welcoming community. And with Woodlands Life Care Guarantee, you can feel confident knowing your future is secure, no matter what tomorrow brings. Discover the Tri-State's premier choice for active senior living. Call 304-697-1620 or visit woodlandswv.com. Woodlands Retirement Community, where living well never gets old.
Basketball season is rolling, baby. Tony here, and I'm feeling the groove.
Brad here checking in, and when the hoops are flying, it's full court fun at Gomart.
That's right, the Groovy Hoops promotion is on now. Take your shot to earn bonus reward points and tokens when you purchase one of 6 specially marked items.
Collect all 6 tokens for an additional 2,000 points. Sign up for Gomart Rewards and watch your points soar like a slam dunk in platform shoes.
Go to Gomart.com or check the app for all the details. Stay groovy.
Today, a new creature walks among us, causing fear, mayhem, and injury.
Stay back, children.
Look out for the dreaded digital deadwalkers. With faces pressed against their little handheld devices, they put all good citizens in harm's way.
Hey, dude, I'm walking here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you.
A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with healthy bones.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with your Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Texter wants to know if the Marshall women's basketball game is going to be on television tonight. I'm sorry, on radio tonight. And unfortunately, no. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. So if you've got ESPN Plus, you should be able to watch it. I know a lot of people don't have ESPN Plus. The good news is it's not on the upper tier. It is just on the Plus tier. So that's not terrible if you have the capability. And I'm sure a lot of you do. So for those of you that don't, it's not that expensive if you like to watch Marshall games. It's a lot better than what it was years ago with some of the other streaming packages that unfortunately came with Conference USA. But yeah, definitely a television game only. It'll most likely be the Arkansas State Red Wolves production crew, the announcers there, because ESPN Plus is completely different than, say, regular ESPN or the ESPN that you all know and love, because ESPN Plus is usually taken care of by the university. So, for example, Herd Vision. Yeah, so you've got local announcers, local production crew doing these games, and some do a better job than others. And I don't know what the standard may be, but yeah, I've heard some of the broadcasts where, hey, they're straight up calling the game. They're pretty cool. Of course, they're there for the other team. The visiting team is not the home team, obviously, but they've been pretty straight up. And then there have been some atrocious broadcasts. I don't think we'll get that with Arkansas State tonight, but still, I know you'd rather hear your own announcers and your hometown crew. Unfortunately, not in the cards for this game, and I think that's going to change in the future, only because we have seen more and more interest in women's athletics. And I think basketball is among those sports that will generate more interest depending on what part of the country you're in. It could be something different. The WNBA has grown. There's actually a push now, and this is completely off the topic, but there's push now for maybe adding flag football as a sport for women at the university level, and that would be something that could really help with some of the Title IX requirements that a lot of universities are falling short on. And I would think that flag football would definitely be a lot more affordable than some of the other sports that are out there right now. I think a lot of fans would probably be more excited for flag football than stunt. Not to say that stunt is bad. And again, if Marshall has a stunt team, it's going to be cool. And if Marshall had a flag football team, I think that would be cool as well. All you have to do is play that at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, probably. Probably be overkill with the stadium. Maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. Interesting, though, that more and more, years ago, people wouldn't have even asked, hey, is the Marshall game on the radio, the women's game on the radio? So it's really grown. Ed Marshall has had some success on the basketball court in years past. There was a time where the Marshall women's basketball team was pretty much the standard for a while. Couldn't get into the tournament, but regular season always competing for championships. So I appreciate the text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is the number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 AM 930. What do you think about that, though? Flag football. Would you go support a flag football team at Marshall University? And another question I've got for you, and I really want to get your feedback on this, because I'm not going to do it for me. I'm going to do it for you. Is there any interest among those that listen to me on a regular basis? is there any interest in Marshall Club hockey? Genuine interest, not, hey, I think that's cool. If there is an interest in club hockey, because there's a push to try to bring club hockey back, and I'm curious what the early thoughts are on that. It's something that you'd have to go to Charleston, South Charleston, to support because there's no ice in Huntington at the moment. So is that something as a Marshall fan, alum, that you would actually actively support, or is that something that, hey, that'd be cool if they had it, but no, I'm not looking to go support that? I'm curious. And we might have some folks on from the organization, the group that's trying to put club hockey together, but I really want to see if there's an interest in that for that to come back and something you support. Texture says, Paul, it would be nice if there was a special Marshall pregame and postgame show for the women's game, for this women's game. Hopefully in the future it will happen. I'll tell you what. Here's how that happens. If you can get enough dollars on the books, we'll do your pre and post game show for your event. Is pretty much what's going to happen. For the most part, if we can get some sponsorship dollars, we can do it. We can make that happen. Absolutely can make that happen. So all you have to do is reach out to our sales manager, and we can get the ball rolling in the future for that. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We'll get your thoughts on the final break when we continue here on The Drive.
Turn your tax refund into a new bathroom at Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Upgrade your bathroom with Max. With more than 1,000 showers, bathtubs, and surrounds, you're sure to find exactly what you need to add luxury and style to your bathroom. Save big on our entire selection of Max bathroom products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm with Chris from Christopher's Eats, and Chris, you guys just made life a lot easier.
That's right. We now have online ordering and delivery.
So I can get your famous seared tuna, flatbreads, or burgers delivered right to my house, or I can pick it up on my way home from work.
You bet. Just order online at Christopher'sEats.com or Facebook, and we'll take care of the rest for you.
Man, that's dangerous. I might never cook again. Locally owned, made from scratch food, now just a click away at Christopher'sEats.com on Facebook or Route 60 Huntington.
This time of year can be chaotic. Ashland Credit Union is here to help you keep up with new and used auto loan rates as low as 4.74% APR. Starting route. We'll help you find a vehicle that works as hard as you do. Visit our Ashland, Canonsburg, or Russell locations, or visit online at ashlandcu.org. Arrived. Wait, did we mention rates as low as 4.74% APR? Okay, good. APR equals annual percentage rate. Not all will qualify for lowest rate. Call 800-245-8112 to learn more.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, the exclusive provider of sports medicine services to Marshall University Athletics, is pleased to offer walk-in clinics 6 days a week. Full-service appointments are available on a walk-in basis weekdays from 9 until 3, and a screening clinic is conducted Saturday mornings 8 to 10. No appointment necessary. For more information, call 304-691-1880. The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, taking care of the herd, taking care of you.
No matter where you are in life, Mount West Community and Technical College isn't just about an education. It's a step toward your future. We provide the hands-on support you need with classes that fit your life. At Mount West, we know you by name because here, you're more than just a number. Mount West Community and Technical College, because you matter here. Visit mctc.edu to apply today.
Food Fair is making shopping simpler than ever. Visit the brand new foodfairmarkets.com or download the Food Fair app to experience shopping at your fingertips with Easy Shop. Browse the digital weekly circular, add items to your cart effortlessly, and enjoy exclusive early access to sales. Plus, earn cart cash rewards seamlessly. And with the Buy It Again feature, finding your favorite items is just one tap away. It's all at foodfairmarkets.com or the Food Fair app. Food Fair, delightfully local, deliciously fresh.
It's easier than you think for pests to threaten your family's health. Ticks, which spread dangerous diseases, hide in tall grasses and even on your pets. Rodents easily invade your home, contaminate food, and can carry more than 35 diseases. Mosquitoes, which breed in standing water, transmit many diseases. Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. It's that easy. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Again, don't forget, coming up tomorrow, it is Metro News Talk Line. We do it right here, 10:06 on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got a few minutes to go until the end of the show. I do want to remind you that we will be back here tomorrow, hopefully talking about a Thundering Herd victory in the WNIT. And then I just want to get you ready for Friday because we've got baseball in about the 3:30 area of the clock on Friday. I haven't looked at it exactly, but we got baseball on Friday. So tomorrow looks like it's going to be our final show of the week. So if you've got something, get it in now. And again, that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I don't want to forget this because coming up tomorrow, it's going to be Marshall, 3-game series in softball, taking on the App State Mountaineers. The Herd right now is 25-10, 7-2 in league play. App State is 23-10, 4-5 in Sun Belt action. 3-game series starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow. It should be fun. I know it's going to be a cool weekend because Saturday there's going to be Little Sis Day, also going to be a post-game Easter egg hunt on the field. That'll be fun. That'll be absolutely fun. So a little Easter egg hunt on the dot. That'll be really cool. And it has not escaped me that today is April Fool's Day. Not my favorite day for some personal reasons. But, besides that, there were some fun things that were happening on social. I did see where Coach Z is going to have some eligibility. So Coach Z is going to play, right? I saw that. I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. That's not a terrible April Fool's punch line. It's not as good as the Thundering Squirrels. That was good. That was absolutely good as far as April Fool's. I'd like to see something like that again, but yeah, it's hard to top that. You have to wait a couple years before you go somewhere else like that. But the Thundering Squirrels, a really fun April Fool's gag. It's cool when they're fun. When they're mean, I'm not so much on board with the mean ones. But if it's fun and you can get a laugh out of it, I'm really good with that. But with that said, let's hope that the Thundering Herd, Thundering Squirrels, whatever they want to call themselves tomorrow, will take on the Mountaineers and get a win, 2-3 for the Thundering Herd. This might be one of those where I'm hoping it's not just a launching pad because there is only one team hitting more home runs than Marshall in league play, and that's App State. App State has 59 in the season. That's one more than the Thundering Herd at 58. So guess what? There's going to be a lot of balls potentially launched out of the dot starting tomorrow. Let's hope that the pitching is on top of its game. I'd be okay if Marshall's launching home runs, not App State, but I'm okay with the Herd launching a lot of homers. But Marshall's right now, believe this, and I'm not surprised by it, but 30th in the RPI. So Marshall ranked 30th in the RPI is the leading team in the Sun Belt Conference. And Marshall's right now tied with South Alabama. And there is a reason for this because pitching has been strong for the Thundering Herd. 3 pitchers with under 3 ERA. Paige Maynard, Maddie Veal, Jules King. 13 games complete with at least 7 wins apiece. The trio has 13 complete games, 7 wins apiece. King is one of 4 pitchers in the conference with at least 10 wins and 4 saves. So shout out to Marshall SID department for some of the good notes they sent our way today on this matchup. Should be a fun one at the dot coming up tomorrow. And, of course, we'll get your day started, or at least your evening into the game tomorrow, 5 o'clock right here, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's go back to the text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says it would be cool if more Marshall women's games were broadcast, especially on the road. I agree. It would be nice to see Marshall get to that point where you can have a larger presence as far as your radio is concerned. And if Marshall can get to that point where not just football and men's basketball is viable to have a broadcast team follow it around, maybe you can get to the point where the women's basketball team is generating that kind of interest and revenue, and it really forces itself upon listeners because it's being demanded for. That would be cool. And I think radio would be a good spot for a lot of Herd fans that might not necessarily have ESPN Plus. And now there are options. Of course, ESPN Plus is one of them for the women's games. And, you know, I do want to give a lot of credit to the student station for carrying the home games. I know road games used to be covered, not so much now. Again, you had a lot of changes in personnel. It's expensive to go on the road. It's expensive to send people on the road. And you're trying to make sure that you're spending your dollars in the most responsible way. So I do get it. Marshall is not a wealthy university. It's not a poor university, but it is not a wealthy university. And so a lot of things are going to have to change, you know, from the university standpoint and the athletic department standpoint before you can have a lot of nice things that other schools might have. So Marshall's got to make the most of what it has to work with and try to, I don't want to say outwork other athletic departments, but you're going to have to do so. And I'm not a subscriber to necessarily the less is more philosophy. That was a corporate philosophy from years ago. You know, I'm not a big fan of, hey, you know what, less is more. Okay, that might mean something in other places, but you want to make sure that you have all the resources you need to take care of all the student athletes that you have. Make sure that they have what they need to have an excellent experience at Marshall University. And at the same time, you want to make sure you're serving as many of the fans as possible. That's the big trick there. Can you serve both the student athletes and make sure that you're serving the fans? You don't have all these nice things without the fans, and the fans don't have these nice things without the student athletes. So you got to make sure you're taking care of both. And with that said, we are out of time. Thanks for being a part of it today here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Until then, have a great evening, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.